3 adjectives to describe Alice. I think she's yearning for things, but she's rather frightened. I think life's been very hard, so yearning, frightened, hopeful in a funny way, although frightened to be hopeful. Alice comes to the hotel like all of them do, and they get stuck. So she's waiting for things outside the hotel, things to change. But she's stuck, but while she's there, things happen. So having come there expecting nothing to happen, things happen to her. And there's a great transformation, I think, for her, as there is for the other couple. So there is this parallel story, in a way, where the other couple come knowing each other. They come to discover each other again by pretending they don't know each other. Whereas when Alice comes to the hotel, she doesn't expect to find anybody. She's quite isolated. So when she thinks she's found somebody from her past who's meaningful, it's wonderful, but then there's the terrible letdown that it isn't, but then it's the discovery of finding somebody. So somebody she didn't expect to find, somebody who's a stranger but she thought she knew. So that's a wonderful transformation for her, I think. I found when, listening to the play being read the other day, all these wonderful parallels. It's like waves or ripples, one theme is set up and then it's taken up by another character. And the characters are all sort of facets of each other in some ways, and there are these sort of repetitions that you hear in the language again and again, so that sense of being lost and not being able to leave and not being able to get away and being blown in by the wind, and also the risk, go out there and risk things. I think it's Mrs. Spence who finally says to Nigel at the end of the play, go out and face the elements, dare to be blustered around by what's out there, by nature, by life. I tend to be very focused on what the writer is saying, and I love looking at the structure and the rhythms of the language, because that's, for me, quite strong in this piece. So I definitely looked at that. But I also highlighted little things in the script that other characters said that I thought resonated in the scenes and just resonated in the play. And I continue to do that. And I have a sort of pristine copy of the play that I don't put anything in ink in. And then I have I do copies for my own scenes that I can scribble on. Because in a sense, what I want to do eventually is get rid of that. And I look at other people, they've got very neat, organised things, but copies which they keep in their nice, neat things. But I'm very messy, but it's part of my process, I think. I like to draw, I like to put ideas down, random thoughts. I walk along a street. There's a lot of dreaming time in my preparation, so I might be doing something completely different, like shopping or parking a car, and a line will pop in my head, and suddenly that echo of that line or the sense of that line will come to me, and I'll make a note or make a mental note, and the preparation is not just in the rehearsal room but continues. I'm very physical, I'm very kinesthetic, so I like to be in the space working with the restrictions or the freedoms of that space, because ideas come to me which are physical in relationship to the other person, and I love working with another person because it's the dance between you. I love that air between me and the other actor or the furniture in the space, what my relationship is to even objects in a space or the people, and what, the tension, the level of tension between us, the release of that tension. Those are things I love to explore, and I think you can only do that once you're on your feet.